This elephant recognized its rescuer after 20 long years. Her emotional reaction is simply beyond words. 2 decades prior, this woman had rescued a dying baby elephant. What transpired today, when they finally met again, brought even the most hardened zookeepers to tears. What's incredible is the elephant recognized her immediately, even though scientists said it was impossible. In the next 12 minutes, I'll show you not only this heartbreaking reunion, but also the shocking truth about elephant memory, which changes everything we thought we knew about animal intelligence. Before we start, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more heartwarming stories like these. It's free for you, but your subscription means a lot to me. The main story, early 1994, Kenya. It was a scorching hot day in March 1994 when Dr. Sarah Mitchell, a young vet from England, began her first assignment at a Kenyan elephant orphanage. She was just 28 years old and full of idealism, but nothing had prepared her for what she would experience that day. On the edge of the reserve, the rangers found a tiny baby elephant, no bigger than a large dog. His mother had fallen victim to poachers, and the baby had already been alone for days. It was so weak that it could barely stand. The other zookeepers shook their heads resignedly. He's too far gone. We can't save it anymore, Syken. But Sarah didn't give up. She knelt beside the dying baby and looked into its sad, almost human eyes. And you will survive today, she whispered, and immediately began the treatment to save it. Then the next 3 months became both hell and heaven at the same time. Sarah slept right next to the small elephant she named Django, which means hope in the local language. She fed him special milk every 2 hours, massaged his weak legs, and even sang to him when he was restless. The other keepers thought she had gone completely mad. You can't give up your entire life for an elephant, they said. But Sarah felt a connection to Django she couldn't explain. Slowly, very slowly, Django grew stronger. He began to play, to explore, and most importantly, he began to trust Sarah. When she entered his enclosure, he immediately ran to her. Whenever she felt sad, he would gently lay his small trunk upon her shoulder. It was as though he could truly sense her feelings. The deeply painful goodbye. After a year, Django had grown strong enough to move in with the other rescued elephants with Sarah. Sarah knew this was absolutely the right step. Django needed to learn to be an elephant, not a human pet. The farewell was truly heartbreaking. As Sarah left his enclosure for the last time, Django followed her to the fence and stretched his trunk through the bars. She touched him one last time and promised, "I'll never forget you, my little friend." A few months later, Sarah had to return to England. Her father was gravely ill and she had no choice. With a broken heart, she left Kenya and Django forever. Or so she thought 20 years later. The return. In 2014, 20 years later, Dr. Sarah Mitchell returned to Kenya. She was now 48, had grey streaks in her hair, and had become a respected vet in London. But Django had never forgotten her. The Elephant Orphanage had invited her to participate in a documentary about her work. Sarah was nervous. Would anyone even still recognize her? Were the elephants she saved back then still alive? Upon entering the reserve, she was led to a group of adult elephants. "These are some of our success stories," the director explained. "Elephants that came to us as calves and are now living normal lives." Sarah scanned the group, looking for familiar faces. Suddenly, one of the largest bulls lifted its head. He was enormous, over 3 meters tall and weighing several tons. For a moment, they stared at each other. The incredible moment. Then something happened that no one could have imagined. The large elephant began to trumpet, not aggressively, but in a tone that Sarah immediately recognized. It was the very same sound Django made as a baby when he saw her. "That's impossible," the reserve director whispered. "Elephants don't recognize people after such a long time." But Django, for it was he, proved the opposite. He ran towards Sarah as fast as his massive legs could carry him. The other keepers screamed in fright and tried to pull Sarah away, but she stood her ground. Django stopped right in front of her and lowered his massive head. Then, very gently, he touched her face with his trunk, just like he did as a baby. Sarah burst into tears and placed her hands on his trunk. "Hello, my big boy," she whispered. "You haven't forgotten me." The scientific sensation. What happened next astonished even experienced elephant researchers. Django began to lead Sarah through the entire reserve as if he wanted to show her his life. He introduced her to other elephants, showed her his favorite spots, and stayed close to her the whole time. Dr. James Morrison, an elephant researcher who filmed the scene, later said, "In 30 years of research,
I've never seen anything like this. The emotional intelligence and long-term memory that Django showed surpassed everything we thought we knew about elephants. The truth about elephant memory. This encounter led to groundbreaking insights into elephant long-term memory. Elephants can actually remember people for decades, especially those who helped them during critical phases of their lives. Emotional bonds. The bond between Sarah and Django was not just instinct, it was genuine affection and gratitude. Facial recognition. Elephants can distinguish human faces and remember them even after extreme periods of time. The reunion today. Sarah visits Django regularly now. Every time she comes, he shows the same joy as at their first reunion. He has even learned to recognize her by the sound of her car, and is already waiting at the fence when she arrives. It's as if time has stood still, says Sarah. The love between us is just as strong as it was 20 years ago. End. This story proves that the bond between humans and animals goes deeper than we ever thought. Django never forgot the woman who saved his life, and Sarah never forgot the little elephant who captured her heart. If you like this story, then like the video and subscribe to the channel for more incredible stories about the connection between humans and animals. And don't forget, sometimes it's the smallest gestures of love that remain in memory for a lifetime.